very grandiose claim, but it is nonetheless true. What Yahweh, and we heard that in the Word this morning when Yahweh gave His Word. What Yahweh speaks to us here in this room is later communicated to all the children of Israel. We heard that this morning, right in the Word, didn't we? Yeah. Didn't we hear that in His Word? When Yahweh gave the Word this morning?
Yes.
This is Yahweh's house. This is the holy place. And in this house, Yahweh will speak to us and through us to all the children of Israel. And we got to make sure it's maintained. Not just faucets working, excellent faucets.
Yes.
Not just decent carpet, something decent, something really nice for Yahweh.
Right.
We should be more willing to furnish this house than our own house.
Right.
That's for Him.
Because in our house, you might have one or two saints walk in. In this house, Yahweh speaks to us all His words concerning all the children of Israel. You think about what I'm telling you today. Am I lying? Am I lying? Do not leaders and pastors line up around the world and order our materials and get our things?
Yes, they do.
Because Yahweh speaks to us. Because this is the atonement seat, the mercy seat. This is His house. This is the only house we're ever going to get to be in, should Yeshua tarry. Are you with me?
Yes.
Do better, brothers and sisters. We need to, not just this month, not just today, but we need to do better in the future. Amen?
Amen.
Baruch Hashem Yahweh. Verse 22, Yahweh, the terumah is given, verse 22, because Yahweh will speak directly, notice, with you. He will speak directly with the people of Yahweh and with Moshe, in this case, from between the cherubim. So the terumah, listen, allows communal worship and approach to take place. The terumah allows the tabernacle to function so that our king will always be Yahweh. Think about that. The terumah allows us to function, does it not? It allows for the maintenance of Yahweh's house, for the maintenance of Yahweh's people, for the goodness of Yahweh's people, so that they can be whole, they can be functioning fully into the full stature of the perfect man that Yahweh has called them to be. Yahweh speaks to us here, and we want the man or woman to be fully mature in the things of Yahweh. Amen? So the terumah, through Leviim Nedavim, or inclined hearts, is to make sure that there's a place where Yahweh is always speaking, where the leader is always hearing Yahweh, and where the people are always receiving of His presence. That's not the tithe, brothers and sisters. Who knows what Yahweh does with the tithe? Yahweh never tells us what He does with the tithe, other than feed the Levites. Amen?
Amen.
Other than feed the Leviim and the Kohanim, we don't know what's happening with the tithe. We do know that terumah is to furnish and upkeep His dwelling place. Amen? Baruch Hashem Yahweh. Amen. Now, verse 22. I will speak to you all that I command you concerning the children of Israel. So this is pattern giving. Hello? The free will offering, or the terumah, is pattern. What do you mean pattern? It is patterned after the ancient Mishkan or tabernacle in the wilderness, so that Yahweh remains king. So there's a place we can always come and hear Yahweh's voice, and Yahweh's people can be provided for, body, soul, and spirit. Does this make sense? This should be maintained as a place where, even though we've had a tough week, even though we've had a difficult week, or 5 days or 6 days, that this is a place where Yahweh's voice can always be heard, where Yahweh's people can always be fed, where Yahweh's people can always receive mercy and forgiveness and compassion. That this is the pattern, that the terumah is the pattern we are to follow.
Yes.
Baruch Hashem Yahweh. And this comes right out of today's Torah portion.
Yeah.
Right out of today's Torah portion.
Right.
It is used, Ted, for pattern giving. Because how we know we need direction in our life. It was up to us, we would just give to the 9/11 fund, which is fine, but make sure Yahweh's house where he shows up is fully taken care of. Then give to the 9/11 fund. Giving to the Salvation Army, that's fine, no problem. First, make sure Yahweh's Mishkan, his dwelling place, and his people are always taken care of so that they will be there along with you to hear his voice.
Amen.
Did it ever occur to anybody? If your brother and sister doesn't have gas money, how are they going to get here? We take up our monthly offering of tzedakah. It's not just, well, what's the rabbi going to do with their money? Maybe someone needs gas money to get here. Or have their phone bill paid so that they can call someone for a ride. Are you with me? Makes sense, amen? That's the true ma. See, and that's where Yahweh's going to fight us the most. Satan's going to fight us the most. Because we're already tithing. Right? We're already tithing. Now Yahweh says, now give me the rest of that gold. And so, this is a tough call, and it's a tough message. And that's why it's very quiet here today. And in the spirit, half the congregation's gone. I don't know where they went. You can't have everybody in the bathroom, only holds one at a time. Now, you know why? Because Slewfoot is walking about as a roaring lion. I can care less. How's that sound? If there's just me, Brian, and Karen, I'll keep preaching.
Yes.
How's that sound? Because I am sent from heaven. My ordination never came from man. Never, ever came from man.
Never will.
Never.
And my power and authority does not come from man.
That's right.
And people don't like that kind of teaching because it's teaching with authority. That's why they didn't like Yeshua. He taught with authority.
That's right.
And they said, hey, what school did he go? Read this, the school of hard knocks. Yeshua's school of hard knocks. Are you with me?
Yes. Yes.
Baruch Hashem Yahweh.
Yahweh.
So it's not a surprise. That's not a surprise. Because the uncircumcised ear will hear this as an appeal for money. We're doing fine financially. I'm fine. We're not lacking for money. But there are people in this congregation ain't doing as well as I am. Are not doing as well as you are. And this is the place where Yahweh meets us. We got to do better, brothers and sisters. We got to do better. Amen?
Amen.
Baruch Hashem Yahweh. Verse number 40. Let's jump down to verse 40. Shemot 25, verse 40. See, when you're making my tabernacle, my home, my presence, when you're building my house, that you do all according to the pattern shown you in the mountain. The pattern is so that the people can hear directly from Yahweh, and the terumah allows patterned worship and communal approach where Yahweh is, was, and always will be king. You understand what the terumah is designed to do? It's designed to keep these doors open and the people of Yahweh well taken care of and coming so that we can continue communal worship.
Same pattern.
Amen.
You can't do this on your own. Many before you have tried and have failed. We cannot live for Yahweh on our own. If we could, there wouldn't be Kehilat Yisrael. There wouldn't be the body of Yeshua. Some of you, when you came to B'nai Yeshua, you said, I have been looking for a place. A place that's right on doctrinally, that agrees with your spirit, that they're preaching the truth.
Amen. That's right.
You were looking for a place. Are you with me? So the terumah is to keep these doors open, Yahweh's house, so others can come and join us in communal worship where the leader and the people hear from Yahweh. And we heard from Yahweh today, that's for sure.
Amen.
Yahweh.
Well, how did that happen?
Thank you.
Well, we kept his house. Through the giving of brothers and the terumah.
Thank you,
And the
Yahweh.
terumah is not the tithe, it's for those who have gone over and above. How do we have an upper room? Right now we've got teenagers, we have youngsters learning
Yes,
upstairs.
yes.
How did that happen?
Thank you, Yahweh.
What are they doing? They're learning the word of Yahweh upstairs. They're watching videos about Yahweh. How did that happen? $15,000 worth of terumah was given by willing hearts. Amen?
People through the internet.
Baruch Hashem Yahweh. Amen.
Hashem Yahweh.
So this is pattern giving. And see, that's the pattern. Yahweh says, Yahweh, you mean this is pattern? Yeah. What is the pattern? I don't like the pattern. What's the pattern? Give me all your gold. give me all your silver. Give me all your bronze. Give me your best, the first fruit of your flock. Guess who else didn't like that program? Guess who else didn't like that pattern? You ever hear of a brother that fell from grace named Cain? Huh? He gave Yahweh some leftover veggies. Yahweh wanted the first fruit of his flock. He gave Yahweh veggies, leftover veggies. Sorry. Are you with me?
Amen.
Terumah. The terumah is pattern for communal approach, communal worship that displays Yahweh as King. Baruch Hashem Yahweh.
Hallelujah.
Go with me to 1 Corinthians 3. Is anyone enjoying?
Yes.
Is
Yes.
anyone enjoying?
Hallelujah.
1 Corinthians 3:16. 1 Corinthians 3 and 16. See, brothers and sisters, this whole pattern. What does pattern mean? It's all done for you. What do? Nothing except obey. We give Yahweh the tithe, and then we give him a donation. Who in their right mind could ever think that Yahweh needs donations? But what does he say this donation is for? It's for his house. Is this house going to be full next week?
Yes.
Eddie Chumley's coming? How are we going to swing that? How are we going to do that? Yeah, it's Yahweh's house. It's Yahweh's house. And through the free will gifts of his people, that house is maintained. Now, you don't expect me to take the tithe, which we give to Yahweh, and give it to Eddie Chumley, do you?
No. It's different.
How will we pay our rent? So, in other words, the love offering for Eddie Chumley is going to be a true amount, won't it?
Yes.
So we can hear Yahweh's voice here in his house.
Me?
Go ahead and sleep on me. I'll keep right on preaching. Baruch Hashem Yahweh.
Hallelujah.
1 Corinthians 3:16. Do you not know that you are the dwelling place of Elohim, and the Spirit of Elohim dwells in us? We are the temple, the Brit Chadashah temple of His presence, the indwelling of His presence. We are the body of Yeshua, renewed covenant Israel, is the temple of His dwelling. Somebody. Huh? We are the temple of His dwelling. Us. Right here. We are the temple of His dwelling. Baruch Hashem Yahweh.
Hashem Yahweh.
Romans 12:1. Romans 12 and verse 1. Baruch Hashem Yahweh.
Baruch Hashem Yahweh.
Romans 12 and 1. Oh, I think I'm putting some of this together. Okay. All right. Not going to go there. Romans 12:1. I call upon you, therefore, brethren, through the compassion of Elohim, to present your bodies, a living sacrifice, set apart, well-pleasing to Elohim, which is your reasonable
Hallelujah.
worship. What did I say before we can give Yahweh? What does Yahweh want? What do you have as a donation? Yahweh begins Exodus 25:1, asking His people for a donation so they can keep up the place, and the people who meet in that place so they can hear His voice and He can dwell among them. So now that Yahweh has laid out His request for a donation, what are you going to give Yahweh? We start off with your goals. We start off with the gold, silver, and bronze. That's how we start off. But there's more. The only thing we can give Yahweh is our life. It's us, all of us.
Yes.
Us. We are give to Yahweh. That's why He asks us for the gold and silver, because that is a prerequisite if we're going to turn over the rest of our life to Yahweh.
Yeah.
He says, I call upon you, therefore, brothers, through the compassion of Elohim. Present your bodies a living offering, set apart,
Yes.
well-pleasing to Elohim, which is your reasonable way of worship. Listen, as a truma is given in the physical, it is also given in the spiritual. And to give in a spiritual, we must be made volunteers. The kind of volunteers, listen, that place our lives on the altar and don't stop and calculate the cost.
Yeah.
I think someone once said, if you're not, until you're ready to die, you're not ready to live.
Yeah.
To lay our lives on the altar as a volunteer. That's why this message, DBA Volunteer. Doing business in the kingdom as a volunteer. DBA Volunteer. We are volunteers that are called, according to Romans 12:1, to lay down our lives on the altar of His service so that we can have His presence among us, and His presence is in us, it's in our brother, it's in our sister. And listen, if we don't take care of Yahweh's house and the people who worship with us corporately in Yahweh's house, then when Yahweh wants to speak to us and minister to us and deliver us through that person, or this house may not be there because we are not willing to give our whole body, soul, and spirit on the altar of sacrifice to Yahweh. What happens if Yahweh wants to give you a life-changing word through Ted, but Ted's not here because he doesn't have gas money? What happens then? Yahweh's going to hold you and me accountable. You and me. I can care less about those outside the household of faith. That's Yahweh's problem. That's not my problem. You are my problem. I am your problem. Turn to your neighbor and say, Rabbi's been a problem for a long time.
No, that's not true. No.
No.
She didn't say anything.
She spoke in Spanish.
Oh, yes, I did.
All you need is love. All you need is love. So Yahweh doesn't ask for much. He just asks us for our whole body, soul, and spirit. It is our reasonable worship. This is not whacked out, crazy, cult-like appeals. This is reason. What the rabbi is sharing with you today is reasonable worship. Everything goes to Yahweh in the place where Yahweh dwells. If you're convinced that the Miami Beach Israel Revival is the place where Yahweh is on cutting edge, changing lives, waking up Ephraimites, getting Judah redeemed, if you believe this is where Yahweh meets with His people, and you and I need this and look to this place as a house of Yahweh, then you and I need to take care of this house physically and our brothers and sisters spiritually and financially. Because the only thing we can give Yahweh is us. He doesn't need the house, the apartments, the cars. He needs us. And the only way we can do it is by not counting the cost and not stopping to think. Can we talk as we start winding down in our talk? Can we talk? When we start thinking about what Yahweh wants from us, nobody can serve Him. Nobody can serve Yahweh. He wants all your money, all your heart, all your soul, all your spirit, all your body, all your effort. Who can honestly serve Yahweh? If you start to think about the call of discipleship, you get left behind. Nobody wants to get called to that kind of radical program. But thank goodness it is patterned. We only have to obey. It's all patterned. The tithe is patterned. Are you with me? The terumah is patterned. Okay? It is patterned for those who are willing to obey Yahweh so quickly and immediately that they don't have the time to stop and count the cost. Because listen, sweetheart, when you gave your life to Yeshua, you should have stopped and counted the cost back then. It's too late now.
Hallelujah.
Now it's your
Turn to your neighbor, thank you, Ted. Now it's your reasonable service.
That's right.
Turn to your neighbor and say, it's too late now.
Too late now.
Hallelujah.
When those bozos got on a plane for Ghana with Jim Jones, it was too late, wasn't it?
Yes.
It was too late. They drank the Kool-Aid, but it didn't matter. It was too late. They had a choice before they joined that place. Once you gave your heart and your life to Yeshua, that's it. You and I lost our rights. Okay? I don't get to watch the football games I used to. I don't get to watch the auto racing I used to. I was a big racing fan. I don't get to go to the Indianapolis 500 every year like I used to when I was a drunk teenager. I don't get to do those things anymore. And then Yahweh sent Rivka into my life and children to make sure that the little time that I had left was cut in half.
That's right. Hey, yes.
And I used to smoke fuma de marijuana. Saved. I used to read Isaiah and fuma marijuana. Then Yahweh sent a late woman into my life. She said, you look like an idiot. You're laughing and eating. All you're doing is laughing and eating and passing gas. She said, now, Rivka said, it's either me or the pot.
I know that's
I didn't have to pray about that one. The pot was out the door.
Thank you,
Because I wanted to keep Rivka. You see how Yahweh, when he says everything, he means everything. Every vice, every habit, everything.
That's right.
Are you with me?
Yes.
It is your reasonable service, like Ted said. It's not an option anymore. It is the program of worship. It is the pattern of reverence. We are to give Yahweh everything we have. We can't, let's be honest with ourselves. If we sit down and count the cost, we can get a serious migraine. Hello? Because Yahweh's going to make demands on every part of your life. Every part of your life He's going to make demands.
That's right.
Your relationships at home, your relationship with your family, your relationship with your kids, that person that you're so attached to since the age of 2, He's going to say, do you love them more than me, or do you love me more than them? And if you can't get your answer straight, or if you stop and think about your answer, He'll send circumstances in your life to take that person out of your life till you give him the right answer. He knows how to produce reasonable worship. It's well within reason. We have no rights. Amen?
Amen.
We close with this. Hebrews 9:8. I'm sorry, Hebrews 9:22. Ivrim 9:22. Did anybody enjoy this message?
Yes.
Good. I want to get all the folks in the back who are listening through closed doors, because it's time to give a terumah. Okay? And Roberta, you have my authority to take the pushki to the other rooms. Okay, now I'm wondering why the place is half empty. You understand what's going on here? This is not just a tithe. This is terumah. This is where we get to. We don't have to. We get to demonstrate our love for the place Yahweh receives community and community worship. And where He speaks to us through His mercy and also through the members of the body. And what happens if the members are not here? Because we've neglected our duty to take care of the house and the people that minister in that house. Ivrim 9:22. Ivrim 9:22. By the way, you folks sitting at home don't have a congregation. If this is your house, you take care of this house. If you have a different house,